what was it like auditioning? How many auditions did you have for Hustle and Flow?
I didn't audition for Hustle and Flow.
You just got it.
Uh-huh. I was offered Scary Movie 2 for a lot of money, but the character had to suck his own dick, and my manager thought I'm not the kind of guy that could suck his own dick and walk away from it. He's right. I probably could now, but I couldn't then.
You have that flexibility?
Yeah, no, but I definitely have tried.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a man alive who hasn't tried.
Yeah, right.
Come on now.
Never mind. But yeah, so you didn't audition.
No.
I tend to think that is sometimes harder because you're not exactly sure what you're going to do. Whereas if you do an audition, they're like, that's it.
There are times when I've had that experience. I don't read a lot.
Still?
Yeah, I mean, because now I do this. Now the stuff.
You know what I can do.
Yeah. And it's not that. It's like most of the things, if you aren't going to pay me, I need to understand why I need to do this. That is a big deal for me at this point in my life. Tell me why I should do this. And because all the auditions especially have moved to taped, I feel like if I'm going to give my time to something, the director should give me the courtesy of being present.
Good for you.
And I also feel like the audition process has been used against us to try to get us cheaper. Like they'll make you think that there's you and 12 other guys in the running for this. And sometimes there's not. And they'll ask you to read they were always going to give you this part. And then just to make your pay less. That's happened to me many times. And twice it's happened to me where I was asked to read for something and I read it. I'm like, this is definitely within my wheelhouse. And I don't feel like I should have to prove myself for this.
Yeah.
And the pay is not great. And then they have come back and offered it to me directly because they were told to offer it to me by the director or the executive producer.
Exactly.
Like Man in the High Castle was that way. They asked me to read for that show. And
you were in that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch that. Should I watch it?
It's not the best.
How many episodes you do?
I did all of them. Well, I did all the first 3 seasons and asked to be released for my contract.
That's a huge show.
Yeah. I do big shit. I'm DJ Qualls, motherfucker.
I'm DJ. When you went on set for Hustle and Flow, were you nervous?
No. Because it was Tennessee, and I'm from Tennessee.
Who was the lead?
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. How was he to work with?
Terrence.
Intense.
I love him, but he's intense. Like he told me that Satan put dinosaur bones into the earth's crust to make us doubt God's existence, and then I laughed about it, and he got mad. I thought he was joking. That was a little too on the nose for me that day.
But he was mad at you.
Yeah, but I loved making the movie because it was a pure filmmaking experience. We didn't have any money. The houses that we used in Memphis, we purchased for like $15,000. We got to, record those songs like in the studio that we made on camera.
Were you blown away when you saw it put together?
It's one of the only things I've ever been able to watch with a crowd. I was sitting in the screening at Sundance, and we wound up winning. And I was there and I felt this enormous sense of pride. And also I'd done that movie for 10 grand and turned down almost $2 million.
Did you make money residually?
No. And that's the other thing. So that's a sore spot. So John Singleton, may he rest in peace, did not pay us our back end. And it set a price for the highest. And Terrence has been very vocal about this. So the LA Times.
Why don't you sue?
Because then you're an actor who's sued.
So what?
I know, but I don't want that experience. I think it was like 300 grand, honestly. But I don't want that experience. And it was a pure filmmaking experience for me. And I'm glad that I did it. And I just don't want the heartache of having to go through all that and have that be tainted. There are very few points in my career where I can look at and the whole thing was just magic from start to finish.
Magic.
And it was magic.
Loved that movie.
Like I went $30,000 in debt for that. I mean, like in publicity debt and going to Sundance. People don't realize that shit's not free. You have to pay for all of that. The movie's not sold. There's no studio. So you have to pay 10 grand to rent a house because your hair and makeup people have to come. You're doing live feeds to CNN at 2:00 in the morning.
It costs you money.
And and then you have to hire a publicist because there is no publicist. And all of this stuff has to be done. And I mean, a lot of the business is set up to take money from us. I mean, of course it is.
I could tell you stories.
A lot of the businesses